All right, in this video, we're going to go ahead and address some of the rumors regarding the Craig Wright, COPA v. Wright case and the Satoshi trial that's happening on the appellate grounds and ruling, and also some other really interesting news regarding the delisting of Bitcoin SV and some pending cases that are happening right now. Also, a couple of announcements here on some things that are going to be happening tomorrow that would recommend people tuning in on and how to do it and how to get involved. So, all right, so check this out. This is Gavin Mehl. There's been a lot of things flying around online. And for those who follow this channel, we covered the COPA v. Wright case. That was the Satoshi identity trial where Craig Wright was ordered by the court not to be Satoshi Nakamoto, and he has an appeal timeline that is pending. Now, in the past videos here, we broke down the two grounds for appeal. I gave very specific legal grounds for why Craig Wright can appeal this case, and I will go through those now here in a moment. But before that, also the timeline. So we looked at, I think it was paragraph 8. It was very early in the appellate decision. The court said it was going to be 21 days. Now, people on Twitter, I'm not going to call them out, but people who I don't know, they don't go by the actual names. They say certain things. I don't want to say, I really don't know who they are. They're saying, oh, that's not true. Well, the court's got 21 days. It's going to be 21 days from the final determination of the matter. What's happening right now is they're trying to determine additional relief, injunctive relief. So this court still got jurisdiction, Judge Miller. Until that the decision's final, and the court no longer has jurisdiction, there's no more relief that's being asked for, then the 21 days is going to start. So if, for example, Craig Wright said, oh, I want to appeal right now, well, then it would deprive this court from doing any more rulings in this case. And that's not what these attorneys are going to want to do, because that's just not how it works. They got to wait first to see what other relief is granted. They're going to grant injunctive relief and order to show cause and tell Wright that he cannot use the name Satoshi Nakamoto in any of his content. Can he not say that? Is he got a worldwide injunction? These are some of the things the court that COPA wants. They want to basically say that, Craig Wright, you're never allowed to use that anywhere in the world. If you say you're Satoshi Nakamoto in any country, it's against the law. Pretty far reaching, right? I mean, we'll see what happens. But I mean, it's a very wide order that they want, and it seems like it would be a contradictory to freedom of speech, definitely here in America. So that being said, we're still pending on that. Now, the more important thing just is the grounds on the appeal, because I really hope that Craig Wright's counsels or his assistant get a chance to watch this video, or somebody gets it to them and they really don't take it lightly. There's two grounds. They probably already know a lot, but I'm telling you, there's very simple, narrow grounds. One is the admissibility of the Madden report. All right, that is so key. That is the first ground for the appeal, because without the Madden report, they got in over the objections, even upon the standards, the legal standards that we talked about in prior videos. That's enough to put it back. All right, ground two, it is the bad actor. There's a bad actor defense, interference from a bad actor. Now, it would not be proper to raise this on appeal about a bad actor unless you had an actual court judgment. And in this case, well, Craig Wright's got an in-chain court judgment against a bad actor that it failed to surrender in-chain property, which apparently had information on it that would have been harmful or could have helped Craig Wright's case, or maybe harmful that would have incriminated Edgar Hansen. He's failed to surrender that. They got a judgment against him, and they got a contempt order against him, and he was sentenced. So therefore, there is a bad actor on a judgment. That is a serious, appellate ground. And I mean, it's going to take some argument on that from the attorney on that brief, but it's going to be really strong. I see that as a reversible error on appeal because of this bad actor. Could be even grounds to reverse the case for a mistrial. If the whole thing that Wright was saying that somebody else had got a hold of his files, he didn't know who. Now he knows there's a bad actor that's been proven in the whole thing, and it was this guy, Edgar Hansen. He was the CEO, and the court's now proven that he was a bad actor by issuing this judgment. So it's not an allegation. So I'm not just saying this because I like Craig Wright or because of I want Craig Wright to win. I really don't think it matters. In fact, I think it's more of a distraction to have this case going on and on and on. I really kind of wish it would go away, or maybe it would never happen. But I'm just saying, from my perspective, in understanding the law, procedures, and this whole case inside and out, I've read through it and seen through it as much as I can from this angle, California, from a non-lawyer's perspective, those are the two grounds that this can go back on appeal on. So that's what I think is going to happen. We'll see. The other thing that's going on right now is we got some people in the BSV community, not people, 240,000 people combined together, and they sued a bunch of companies for delisting the coin BSV. Now, I'm not a supporter of a specific coin or cryptocurrency. Or I want to make it clear that I say, oh, everybody buy this, buy that. Okay. Now, I do believe and strongly support the original Bitcoin protocol like it was in the white paper. Okay. That's really what I've talked about and supported, and I really believe it. Now, I'll let you guys figure out what that means and how it all fits together. But this particular thing, BSV, okay, they didn't want it on exchanges. Exchanges all got together and they removed it from from people to buy it. So people in the U.S. right now have a hard time, if at all, to even buy this thing. There's few places to get it. So the bottom line is 240,000 people came together, and they're suing now for somewhat a lot of money. I don't know. It's a class action lawsuit, and basically a couple of the headlines on it are crypto exchange Binance. Let's see, Binance or Kraken and Binance delist BSV, Bitcoin SV. Now they're being sued for $13 billion. Binance fights. That's crypto.news. CoinGap. Binance fights to reduce size of $13 billion UK lawsuit over BSV delisting. UK tribunal starts hearing on a multi-billion-dollar BSV delisting. Cointelegraph. Binance Kraken faced legal action over the delisting of BSV over CSW's claims, Satoshi claims. So these are just independent news articles. I mean, some of them are probably slanted, but it's definitely going on. There's a major case going on, and all those people are claiming that they were damaged. And they were damaged substantially. And that was just heard, I think it was last Friday. So that was heard about like on a motion to dismiss procedure. So they're now deciding to bring the case forward. So on another note, I'm doing a space. Now I'm going to have two people on the space tomorrow. For people who don't know what spaces are, my good friend Michael, St. Michael, he doesn't have X and all that. He's a freaking lawyer. He doesn't do that, but I wish he would. For people who don't have it, it's good technology, x.com, set up a free account on there, and you can go into a space and talk live. It's live. It's streaming live. I'm doing it tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. It's about an hour, and I'm going to have two people on there as guests. One is a lady called Mags, and she's this lady's sharing education and how new users can get into cryptocurrency, and how, so if you're learning about trying to figure out how to do it, you watch my channel, you're like, how do I buy this stuff? What do I do? Well, you could watch this space tomorrow, and she's going to talk about it, and she has a book that is free that shows you how to do it. And she, is going to share her story on how she got into things, and how she lost out. I read her book, and it was great. She talks about how she lost out on, I think it was $25 million, maybe $2 million, because she had Apple. She had the chance to buy Apple stock, and when it was in the early days of Apple, but she just didn't know to buy the Apple stock. And so she just had Apple. She loved it. She thought it was great. It was amazing, but she just never bought it. And now had she done it when she had it, she would have been a multimillionaire now. And so she shares her story and her insight and tells people kind of like, look, don't do an investment, but learn from what she says, which is if you like something a lot, maybe you should have some, if it really works that easily, if it's frictionless, borderless, totally cash, peer-to-peer cash, no middleman, friction. Anyways, that is what Bitcoin was all about. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because we get to take control of our own money. We actually get to take the power back from those who control money. And how do they have power? They have power by controlling our money. When I have to use a Federal Reserve note to pay, well, if they don't want me to do that anymore, they want to get rid of that, and maybe they wipe out all. I mean, there's just they control me by that. We have to have a way to get our own money, which is completely independent online. There's no other way around it, and there's no other. I mean, I'm not seeing any other thing in the original Bitcoin protocol that's going to be more secure, long-term, stable, cheapest, and as a frictionless, cashless cash society. So tomorrow at 9, tune into that. Also, one more thing is I'm going to have on Peter Kritas, Kritas. He's going to be sharing insights about his insight as a veteran entrepreneur in Australia. I met him in London. Guy's like a really experienced entrepreneur, CTO, and starting companies. And one of the things about this space that I'm doing on Wednesdays is about entrepreneurs, because hey, we come together, and whether it's a small entrepreneur business or a big one, we can do these things in the future world of on-chain reality. And that's when you start to wrap your head around xCrypt, who I had on Saturday, I did a video with Xiaowei Liu, the most interesting man in Bitcoin, as people claim. It's this concept of having contracts. Let me just break this down, okay? Hold on. So imagine a world where we have contracts. These contracts are all on-chain and pre-programmed. For example, suppose for me having to go to court for the last 3 years over a court case and argue it out, 3 years, attorneys, waste all this time. Imagine if I had pre-programmed that contract from what was called like existing templates, and then those templates were already written into the blockchain, okay, on the original Bitcoin blockchain, and then me and the other party agreed to it, and then those inside of those the contract provisions, if I didn't pay my payment the next month, well, then the other party would get to forfeit a property asset or whatever my collateral was. He would get to collect on it. I agreed to it in advance because the contract would trigger that. So it's a pre-authorized contract. It's tokenized, and this is happening a lot sooner than people think. I mean, they have a platform called Tokenized right now. I need to reach out to James Belding and understand it. But basically, they've already written this stuff out for the financial institutions, where small companies like me, I could go in and start using it. I need to do that and say, I want to write my contracts for, let's say, employees or independent contractors, and I'm hiring. Well, I want to make sure that if this guy doesn't do his job, well, he doesn't get paid. If he does do it, he does get paid. And it's going to automatically take care of that, and there's less likelihood of a dispute. It doesn't completely eliminate courts, but it makes the court's job so much easier because the contract's pre-programmed in. And I'm telling you, this is, I don't think it's 20 years out. I really think it's a lot sooner than that. This is happening sooner than people realize. All it takes is, just a couple little trigger events, and we just want to keep getting educated on this material. That's why I'm pushing so much forward about getting this education about the blockchain, going to London, talking to you, this audience about it, because I'm telling you, man, it's coming. It's not, there's no looking back. It's here. It's happening. And whether you like it or not, either you're going to be left behind and you're going to learn about it later and you're going to just be using it, or you can be, learn about it in advance. And so not only learn about it, but take advantage of it. That's one of the things that Schmags is going to talk about tomorrow on the space. So if you don't have Twitter, or it's not Twitter anymore, it's x.com, set up a free account there, follow at Gavin Mehl on Twitter, and you'll see the space on that. Tomorrow, it's pinned to my profile right now. And, after I talk to the guests, I'll open up for questions. You can raise your hand. There's a couple co-hosts on there that I have that are really great. Smila's she's from Austrian Alps, outside of Germany. And then also Casey Nicole, she's in the Midwest. And I also have Rosetta. There's who's a great host. She's in the UK. I mean, people all over the world doing this. So it's not just some guy here in San Francisco Bay Area. It's much bigger than that. So tune in tomorrow. Just a quick summary. The Craig Wright case, the appellate grounds are: 1, the Madden report's admittability. Okay, the reversible error on admitting the Madden report, lack of independence. That's a triable issue. That needs to be, that definitely is something that could be reviewed by the court. There's case law to back it. 2 is the bad actor, the new evidence about the bad actor, the new ruling about the bad actor, Edgar Hansen. So that's definitely substantial. And then, of course, these other cases we talked about, which is the Binance and Kraken getting sued down for $13 billion for delisting BSV. All this stuff is kind of like culminating right now. This cryptocurrency BSV was a bad actor. It's always been a bad actor on the block and hated. I always wondered why. Why is it always hated so much? I never could actually figure that out. Now maybe somebody could leave in the comments and tell me why everybody hates it. And don't say because of Craig Wright, because it's they hate. It's more of a personal attack. I don't think that's fair. There's always some troll that says that. So, anyways, tomorrow, tune in. This is Gavin Mehl. Leave a comment, share the video, all right, and be sure to look up, and I'll see you at the top. All right, everybody.